Welcome to the Mates Mentoring Program information session. My name is Vanessa O'Loughlin. I'm a Program Manager with Wimmera Southern Mallee Len. This information session has been prepared to support our regional schools to enhance and support the Mates Mentoring Program and the young people and mentors participating in it. We'd like to acknowledge all the traditional owners of the lands in which each of us meet today, or as you are checking into this video. As this event is virtual, for Wimmera Southern Mallee Len, our traditional land owners are the Watchabolik, Jadwa, Jali, Wagaya and Jabbergalt peoples. And I pay my respects to elders past, present and those who are emerging. I welcome all Aboriginal people joining us and participating in the Mates Mentoring Program as mentors and leaders. So just looking at Mates Mentoring Program, and for those who aren't that familiar with it, Mates is a youth mentoring program which runs in schools. So we see a mentee who is either a primary school or secondary school student, matched based on skills and interests, with a volunteer who comes from our local community. They develop a special bond of friendship that is respectful and supportive of each other. Mates has long been an intervention program. It's in its 11th year now, designed to enhance student engagement in learning, as well as support some of the wellbeing outcomes, building confidence, self-esteem, and exploring new and exciting opportunities and experiences. So the Mates Mentoring Program began initially in 2010 when Wimmera Southern Mallee Len partnered with Dimboola Memorial Secondary College in the Hindmarsh Shire to deliver a pilot program, the original pilot program. It was further developed then by Sally, who was the original Mates Mentoring Coordinator, and then adapted up until 2020, was in at least 18 schools in the Wimmera Southern Mallee region, and had also expanded through other areas through the Len network into Victoria. Obviously 2020 did put the program into hiatus. We couldn't have volunteers into the school, but we're pleased that many of the schools are getting back on board and reintroducing Mates Mentoring to their school and to their students. So this is a bit of a map of where Mates was pre-COVID-19, all the way up to Capacity Kahuna, North Central, down into Highlands around the Ballarat region as well. More recently, Stawell has also introduced a new program, which is really exciting for the region, and we're certainly back up and running in the Wimmera Southern Mallee region, supporting schools to get up and running there, thus this information session. So before we get into some of the nitty-gritty, I just wanted to talk about some of the myths around youth mentoring in general, and youth mentoring programs. So these are the voices of people within our community who don't want to mentor, or who find it difficult to mentor, and probably don't understand mentoring. So before we begin, it's really important that our volunteers understand this information. So myth one, a good mentoring program takes up a lot of time. You might actually be surprised at how successful your relationship will be with a young person with just that 1 hour every fortnight. You can get a lot done in that hour, particularly if you're not distracted and you are solely focused on building that relationship with that young person and enjoying their time. Many of our past mentoring relationships have continued into long and sustainable relationships well and truly after the 12-month period. We've had some matches who are still catching up after all of these years, nearly 10 years for some of the ones in Horsham. Mates has been specifically designed to ensure young people are getting the classroom time that they need, and it ensures our mentors can fit the program into their own lifestyles. So yes, some mentoring programs do require considerable input in time. Mates is a really good balance of the young people learning and our mentors being able to commit that 1 hour a fortnight. Myth number two, mentoring won't benefit me. It's just about the kids and it's a thankless task. So, you know, whenever we volunteer, and regardless of what program it is, we always do it for a reason. And whether that reason is around to build our own skills and capacity, or around our willingness to help people, we actually get some sort of personal reward from that, and it's usually satisfaction, really feeling like you've made a difference. The program itself, yes, it is focused on enhancing and engaging a young person's learning and to the betterment of that young person, but it is a great opportunity for those who are working with our mentee to build their own confidence, broaden your own experiences, develop your skills. Young people are so sassy with technology and all those advances. You can actually learn something from them, and it can even, in some circumstances, some of our mentors have actually reported that it's actually giving them purpose in life when they're perhaps retired, or feeling lonely, or their grandchildren or their children have moved away, and this actually gives them a new focus, and have felt enriched by that experience. Myth number three, I don't really have any skills or knowledge that could help. And this comes up a lot. We have a lot of people who we ask in the community, can you be a mentor? And they say, well, I don't really have anything to offer. I've got nothing to offer a young person. So I'm going to ask you this. Do you truly value young people in your community and what they have to offer your community? And if your answer is yes, then you already have something to offer. Mates mentors come from all walks of life, and so do our mentees. Mentoring is more about being a positive role model, and teaching young people new skills and giving them new experiences. So for instance, and I'll probably talk about it later because it is one of my favourites, some kids have just never been on a picnic. And this is where you have the ability to bring that in. So children will watch the way you also approach tasks. So I also ask, are you kind? Do you problem solve well? Do you communicate well? These are everyday experiences that your mentee is going to begin to mimic and implement in their own lives. So implement in their schoolwork, their communications to their teacher. They're going to take it home and build relationships with young people. So regardless of your skill set, your physical skill set, if you genuinely value young people in your community, you already have what we need. So myth 4, mentoring is for children and young people with behavioural issues. Well, we get this a lot. I've tidied up the language around that, but most people say, so it's just for the delinquent kids, the naughty kids, the bad kids. And besides that, I'm absolutely opposed to the language around that. It's actually not true. So granted, some of our mentees do have some behavioural problems in school, and thus referral to mentoring programs. The young people who have extreme behavioural issues, they are not referred to youth mentoring. They are referred to youth workers and other agencies that can support those behaviours. But the young people who the schools feel will benefit from having a mentor because of some behavioural problems, absolutely, they will be referred. But it's really important that we note that other young people are referred into the program not because of behavioural problems, but maybe it's because they're incredibly shy, maybe they're being bullied, maybe they struggle with communication, maybe they struggle with their schoolwork, maybe they don't have a positive male role model in their life, or maybe they don't have parents. Perhaps they're living with grandma and they need to be more active. There's an extensive list of reasons why young people are referred to mentor, and it's not just based on whether they are deemed the naughty kid in school. So keep that in mind as you are meeting your young person. All young people deserve our respect and our values and to be valued by their mentors. So I also just want to draw your attention to some statistics. A survey of students participating in the program found that 70% felt that their behaviour had actually improved in school. 79% reported a better attitude to school, and 87% felt better about themselves. So yes, there are some young people with some behavioural issues, and by having a mentor, we're seeing a massive difference and a massive change in that young person's behaviour, whether that be through improved confidence, improved strategies to be able to communicate better, or whatever it may be. Mates is making a difference. So the role of a mentor, let's talk about that just to ensure that you really have an extensive understanding of what a mentor is and what a mentor is not. So the aims of Mates is to extend positive life experiences. So I go back to that picnic idea. Let's have a picnic on the Oval, something that you haven't done before. It's to target life and educational goals, and during the training we actually talk about goal setting with your young people, and that doesn't have to be a big massive goal. It can just be something small that they'd like to learn, like hair braiding. We're going to look at giving our young people their skills to engage in community, in broader community, and identify and resource their skills and strengths and build on those skills and strengths, and that will help develop confidence. And we cover all of that in the training as well. So the commitment of Mates, we do ask that you commit to 1 hour every fortnight for 1 year. So we've got a little saying there, 24 hours a year does change a life, or can change a life. So 1 hour every fortnight for 1 year. Now that doesn't mean you can't go on holidays. That is just around the expectation. So the young people, if you are someone who is lucky enough to head north for the winters and you go for a month and you won't see your young person every fortnight, that's okay. We find other methods of contacting them. Maybe it's sending them a letter, sending them a postcard, and it is certainly around having that conversation with the young person, letting them know that whilst you won't be able to come for the next fortnight visit, you will be back thereafter. And they understand that, and that's just life learning as well. We all need to compromise and understand that other people have things in their life and other commitments, and we work around that together as a community and with our friends. So how do we do our aims? Let's talk about that. So the first thing we need is non-judgment and open-minded people. So, and once again, we'll cover this in training. We need people who are willing to assist in goal setting and developing some pathways to achieve those goals. We need to show encouragement and support at every opportunity that we get. We need to listen and actively listen. So listen to hear, not listen to respond. and be willing to share your personal experiences or become somewhat vulnerable. You don't have to share everything, but sharing does create relationships with young people. And most of all, obviously have fun. We do it through play, especially with the little kids. They really enjoy the connection through play. So I just wanted to tell you about a couple of our mentees and our mentors and give you some background and some information on this. So this is Sarah and Steph. Sarah asked to become a mentor in 2017 after moving to the area, and she was matched with young Steph. Now, Steph in 2017 was not going to school. She was probably attending one day a week, if lucky. She wasn't engaging in extracurricular activities. She was extremely shy and extremely anxious. She was matched with Sarah. Sarah is bright, bubbly, active, promotes kindness, promotes collaboration. And really enjoyed Steph's company. Now, I was lucky enough to meet Steph at the end, or actually at the start of 2021, and she was getting in her car that afternoon to go to university to become a secondary school teacher. So Steph, through the role of youth mentoring, has gone from being a non-attender at school to actively going off to university, actively studying enough to actually get to university in the first place, to become a role model in the lives of other young people. And there is actually a video on our website, len.com.au/mates, that you can actually see Steph talking about her journey with Sarah. A really amazing outcome. Now, this is myself, and I have changed the young person's name for her protection of her privacy. So Bianca was matched with me. Bianca has a sibling who has a disability, and they are a single parent home. And a lot of Bianca's parents' time was actually taken up by her sibling. The parent had actually come to the school and asked if Bianca could be matched with a mentor, just to give her some additional attention that she really needed, just that one-on-one time with someone who could actually try new experiences and get her up and active a little bit more. Bianca's background was also one of somewhat trauma. She had been exposed to the use of alcohol and other drugs in her home. So there was quite a bit of learning to do around that space for myself, and training was available through the Mates program. I spent a lot of time with Bianca just playing in the playground. She just loved being watched and having that one-on-one attention that she craved. We did a lot of different Christmas activities, which was fun, different crafts. I've been mentoring Bianca for a couple of years now, and during COVID we were sending her letters and photos of just different things that we've been doing throughout the year as well. Other activities you can see there, I've got my runners on and my basketball. We did try and do some basketball. She preferred football, which wasn't my cup of tea, but we had a go at it anyway, and both learnt a few new things along the way as well. So a couple of quotes here from our mentees, just to really put this in perspective, and there is videos where these quotes are being said by our young people. "I haven't been getting into trouble as much. I used to get in trouble for talking in class and fights and all that. Because she makes me feel good about myself, and I think I used to mainly do it for attention. And she makes me feel like I don't need to do that stuff for attention because lots of people already like me. I reckon people should become mentors because I was really nervous at the start of who I was to be matched with. But then when I started talking to her and we connected straight away, it was really awesome. And I got to know her fast." So let's look at the mentee side of things. So our mentees are really part of this equation, and our mentees actually go through a training process themselves to ensure that they understand the program and that they're ready to commit to youth mentoring. youth mentoring for our mentees is a choice. You shouldn't or you won't be matched with a mentee who has been forced into the programs. Mentees are usually identified by their classroom teacher or their wellbeing officer, or sometimes their parents also put in a request to the school if they feel that they need that added support. Mentees entering the program give permission and agree to the mentorship. The mentees, parents and guardians also give permission and agree to the mentorship unless the young person is mature enough to provide what we call informed consent, or they are in out of care home services, of which by they'll have a youth worker who looks after that for them as well. So it's really important to understand a lot of mentors are fearful about parents and about guardians. Parents love this program. And, you know, if you are a parent, you will understand that you want to do everything that you can to support your young person in learning. And potentially that could be youth mentoring. Mentees also sign a code of conduct, as do our mentors, and we'll talk about that further in training. A code of conduct is a set of standards that you agree to. Mentees complete an application form outlining their skills, interests and ideas. Usually the teacher that is referring or the wellbeing officer already has a really good understanding of who this young person is, but we just want to make sure that we explore all those different avenues to support the match. Mentees attend a short training as well, which includes information on how to communicate properly, how to form a new relationship, and also look at different ideas that they could do with their mentor and what to do if they feel that there is a problem. So looking at suggested activities, mentors often will ask a question, I don't know what to do with my young person. What am I going to do when I get them? And trust me, you will just know. Once you've been mentoring your young person for a little while, these activities will flow. But here is a few suggestions that our mentors have put together that you might be able to do in those awkward moments or when you don't know what to do, or certainly at the start. As I said, we could have a traditional picnic, particularly for those young people who are being mentored on site and can't go off. That's a great idea. Pack a little picnic, find a little spot in the school and off you go. Paint a picture together, cook something, perhaps trying even some international cuisine that neither of you have maybe tried. Most of the mentoring schools or the schools that host mates will have a canteen or a kitchen of some description that you'd be able to access. You could make jewellery or build Lego, learn a new card game. Uno is a great one to take to schools. Schools will also have often a box of games that you would be able to tap into. You can see a picture on the right of Jenga. You could teach them chess if you know how to play. Bring in a camera, take some nature photos. We've had mentors take in motorbikes and motors and different, tools and teach their young person about mechanics. You could do yoga, plant some herbs together. That says a herb pot, but often schools now will also have a vegetable area or a vegetable growing area that you would be able to utilise as well. Some sporting activities there, flying kites if it's a windy day, and sometimes walking and talking is great as well. So the cycle with Mates Mentoring, so initially we recruit, so we attend an information session or watch it in the video stream as you're doing now. Then you'll have an application form. So application forms are available on our website. It's len.com.au/mates. You will see an application tab that you can go to there. There's also a hard copy that you can print out, or you can connect with your school who will also have copies. The application form does include referees, and we're moving on to the screening process here. Referee checks, which we do check, and depending on how well you know the school coordinator, you may be asked to attend an interview as well. It is really important that we protect the safety of our children. Now, whilst this might sound like a lot of steps to go through, it is necessary, and as a community we all have that responsibility to participate in child safe screening. All our mentors will also be supported to get a Working with Children's check if you do not already have one. After screening, you move into training. There is a 2-hour training. We can do that via virtually or via face-to-face. The 2-hour training goes through the foundations that you will need to be able to support your mentoring relationship. So looking at communication, getting a rapport with the young people, managing some behaviours, building relationships, which I think I said, but understanding the foundations. It will certainly give you the tool bag that you need for in-school mentoring. Mates also has the option then of doing extended training when it comes up, if you would like to, which is more of a trauma-informed practice. And there's also the opportunity to attend first aid, cultural awareness and bits and pieces as they come up in our community as well. And we try to keep you as informed as we can when those do come up. Once you've attended your training and you've been screened, you have your Working with Children's check, and we have a list of your interests and ideas that have come through your application form. We move on to the matching process, which is where the school coordinator and the classroom teacher will have a look at your personality traits and those skills and interests that you had noted down, and they'll match you as best they can with a young person that they feel that you'll have a really good peer friendship with. Usually the launch is carried out as a school event, depending on how many matches have been made in that period. So that might look like a pizza afternoon or a morning tea. The young people, their parents are usually invited so that everyone can meet everyone at once. During that launch, the young person will give you a bit of a tour of their school, and that will be the first time that you have one-on-one time with them. And then you'll obviously come back in a fortnight to carry out your mentoring, as will be logged from there on in. So your mentoring will be supported by your Mates coordinator in school, and of course the LEN is in the background if you require anything. We generally don't make direct connection with mentors very often. It usually goes through the school coordinator, but we are there to support if needed. If you can't get hold of your school coordinator or someone or a representative in the school, feel free to contact us. Depending on the school, you may have a logbook that you need to complete, or a check-in system. Particularly with COVID, that's really important at the moment, and each school just looks slightly different depending on their own volunteer management systems. So I think we've probably covered application and screening enough. Our website once again is up on the screen now, where the application form is located. You'll attend an interview, we'll have the referee checks, and of course you'll be supported to obtain a Working with Children's check, or if you do not have one. Working with Children's checks for volunteers is actually free, so you can log on to that website and do it at any stage in your own time if you'd like. The application includes personal details, your experience, interests, and what will seem like random questions at the time, like, who would you be interested in meeting, who are your idol, things like that, but it's actually imperative to the matching process. So the training, as I said before, it is 2 hours, and it will give you sufficient skills and understanding to support young people. They're the learning intentions from that first training, from the foundation training. And as said before, there is extended training if you would like it at any stage. And the school will promote that when it becomes available. Okay, volunteering with your school. So Mates Mentoring is an in-school program managed by each school independently with the support of Wimmera Southern Mallee LEN. So we provide the framework, we provide mentor training and support to assist the schools to sustain a vibrant and worthwhile mentoring program. So there's no point having a mentor program if it's not going to be great. That's where we really see those results and those statistics that we presented earlier in the day. Each participating school will have their own level of volunteer policies, including structures and support to manage volunteers, along with the appropriate volunteer insurance. So if at any stage you are in doubt or you have a question about volunteering in the school or with the Mates Mentoring program, your school coordinator is the first person to contact. And at the initial stages of the launch and the matching, they will also induct you into the program. So they'll give you a bit of a look around the school, let you know how to check in, let you know where to go for any problems, hand your volunteer guide, those types of bits and pieces. Once again, Wimmera Southern Mallee are here. If you have any questions, you can contact us. Our details are there, our phone number, mates@len.com.au, and that will be provided. So other supports, once again, you have your schoolmates coordinator, your principal or vice, and also the classroom teacher. One of our goals this year for 2021 is to actually set up some mentoring teams or a community of practice locally, regionally and online. So we're going to bring all our mentors together in some sort of virtual forum that you will be able to chat, share. We'll certainly be able to put updates in there, information, ideas, all those bits and pieces. When you feel like you belong to the Mates mentoring team, it's going to be an extraordinary community. We are doing great things, our mentors do great things, and we need more volunteers. And that support will be in and up and ready towards the end of 2021. So sorry, just bear with me, just having a little bit of a problem with getting this video up and running.
I really like it that I'm able to escape from work, which is very nice, and also to be able to spend some time with a young person, and I've got grown-up children, so it's nice to get back to talking to a young one and seeing what their lives are like nowadays.
I just enjoyed creating a friendship with Ethan and watching him grow, sort of creating a bond and doing some great activities.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great thing to be able to, offer support or friendship to someone else that's younger, that you can just see out and about and say good day to.
Yeah. Would you recommend mentoring?
Yeah, absolutely. And Mum did it last year, and it was the reason I thought I'd step up and do it this year. And I think it's a great, even the introduction night. It was exciting and to know that you can make, and not a huge difference, but just be there for someone. So I think anyone would get something out of it.
Yeah. A rewarding thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's also beneficial for the kids too. I reckon every kid could benefit from a mentor, not all kids in general.
Yeah.
They need an elder to be your best buddy with more, different than their parents, isn't it? It's just
Yeah.
a relationship.
Mentoring.
I've got a bit of a kick out of coming into school once a fortnight, having a kick with Tom with the footy, and then on the weekend seeing Tom and he comes up to say good day and see a bit of progress like that.
It's too hard to say just one. Just the whole thing's just been so rewarding. I feel like it's put me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So for myself, that's been a big reward.
Yeah.
And just seeing,
It's hard to say. Like things like knowing how to cook stuff and
Okay.
just mostly learning.
I haven't been getting into trouble as much.
Haven't you? What did you used to get into trouble for?
I used to get in trouble for talking in class and fights and all that.
Okay, so how do you think Steve's helped with that?
It's just helped to be there to be able to talk to and be able to say stuff that you couldn't normally say to teachers.
In your life?
Yes, definitely.
How?
I can talk to other kids in class and get along with them more easier.
Yep.
And I think this program would be great for some kids who, if they don't have anyone to talk to, or their parents don't listen to them, if they have a problem at school, they don't do anything like that, then this program is probably good. And it's not only good for that, but a number of reasons.
So there you have it, out of the mouths of mentors and mentees. If at any stage after viewing this information session you have any questions, please feel free to get in contact with your schoolmates coordinator, or you can flick them through to our team here at Wimmera Southern Mallee Len. Our phone number's there, and also the email address mates@len with 2 L's, len.com.au, and there is also further information available at our website, which is also written there, len.com.au/mates, and that is also where you'll find the application form and the video that you just saw, amongst others, and certainly Sarah and Steph are there as well. So thank you, and once again, please reach out if you have any further questions or would like more information. Thank you.